Hey everybody, Wes here with Cedar Pointe Homes. Today we're on site on Summit View Lane, taking a look at our build on lot number 8 just behind me. This home is incredible, sits right in front of the St. George Red Cliffs Temple, as you see right behind me as well. A little bit of a progress update. If you haven't seen our other video, check that out after you finish this one. But I'd like to take you on a quick tour just to kind of show you guys where we're at, what's going on, and a little progress update on this home as we've been working on the build. A couple details about this just to give you an overview of what we're doing here. This home sits on just under a half acre, just under 9,000 square feet of conditioned space and a little over 11,000 total. It packs 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, has 2 studies, a craft room, gonna have a 4-car garage, and believe it or not, an indoor pickleball court. Usually when you have a big space like that, when you're talking indoor pickleball court or tennis court, it's a hard space to incorporate into the home and not make it just look like a big warehouse. Our architect just did an incredible job. That's one of my favorite features of the exterior of this home, is the way that the pickleball court is just incorporated into the design of the home, where from the street, you would never know that that's what sits behind the walls. It's incredible, and I look forward to showing you that from the inside. So come with me, let's check out and see where we're at on the rest of this home. Right here, we've got the covered patio, great space, shaded. And as we come through, you'll notice the arch, the double arch doors that we have here. One of the features of the home that our client was really adamant about having in the home was they loved the arches, and so we tried to incorporate that throughout the home in different spaces, and you'll see that as we go on this tour. So right here in the foyer, you'll notice we've got some coffered ceilings that's just gonna create some dimensions within the home, and just has a beautiful sight line from the front door through the great room and into the backyard. To my right here is one of 2 studies that we'll have in this home. As I go through the details, and you'll see all the finished work here in an upcoming video, so tune in and follow us to see more. But you'll notice the ceiling treatments we have here, and on these 2 walls are gonna be built-in bookshelves. And about right here, we're gonna have a nice area that's trimmed out, and it'll have a beautiful piece of artwork that sits in the middle of this wall. So this really is just gonna be a phenomenal room with a lot of detail in this study. Now, one of the things I really love is as you come through this front door and you get into this great room is this incredible vaulted ceiling. It just really opens the space, looks amazing. And of course, you're backed by a fireplace and a couple arches on both sides of that fireplace, as I mentioned before. This is gonna be a great space for our client and for their family. That's one of the things that was really important to our client as we designed this home, was having a gathering space for their kids and their grandkids to come and visit. And you'll see as we go throughout this home, the kids and the grandkids will want to be here and they'll want to spend that time. But it's also, we wanna make sure the space is livable and functions properly and everybody can be comfortable. As we head down this way, we have study number 2. You can see we just got done with some ceiling treatments, a fireplace, and then out these doors, again, I mentioned it before, but it backs to the Red Cliffs Temple, and it just is gonna have an incredible view. Everything on this side of the home really will have a focal point back that's just gonna be amazing. Now, off on this wing, we do have a powder bath that's going in here, and you can see our tile work is in progress here. And then this is gonna be the main level laundry. One cool feature we have in here is that as we worked with the client, we really debated with them on, do we put the laundry room in their primary suite closet, or do we have a separate space? There's only 1 bedroom on this main, but what we did for them is we decided to maximize their primary closet, and so we incorporated, you know, a laundry room here. But what you're gonna see in coming videos is about in this space right here, you're gonna have a pass-through for the laundry. So this is actually gonna open up to the primary closet, and it'll be a pass-through for them to throw their laundry through, and right here into the laundry room. So kind of a nice little unique feature, just so that we can incorporate everything that they were looking for in this home. And I'll give you some more details as we work to the primary on why this made sense to do it this way. So continuing on, this will take us to the primary suite. Again, you're gonna notice the vaulted ceilings are just phenomenal throughout this house. And then just an amazing view from their primary suite to the back here. Everything was thought through, from architecture and design to the selections, and this is going to have some amazing ceiling treatments in the coming weeks and months as the home continues to be worked on. You know, one thing in this primary also is that we created this outdoor access, so from the primary you got access right to your backyard. So as we work our way into the primary bath, we're going to have a nice soaking tub right here, and then a his and her vanity is going to come on this wall here. It flows just amazingly. And then in here, this was a change we had kind of throughout the way. We had the plans designed and ready to go, and the client came to us and asked for a steam shower. We incorporated that in. We're gonna have his and her shower heads, so it's a nice big space and a little bit of progress. You can see we have just got done with our shower pan test. That was last week and it passed, so we're continuing on. This space is getting ready for tile. And then we open up into the primary closet. So just a nice big space. I mentioned that pass through for the laundry. So as I showed you on that other side, we're gonna have a pass through that's gonna sit right in about this general area, and it'll allow them to move their laundry back and forth conveniently. And another reason we went that route, or we had some changes, is the client also wanted to put in a sauna. It came a little late in the project, and so we worked with them where they wanted it placed and how they wanted it placed. And where we ended with them was that the sauna will sit right here in this area, which is super convenient because it's right next to the steam shower that we incorporated. It's gonna fit the space nicely, but still leave all of this open. This gives them a lot of space to work with in this primary closet. It's a big open space. We're gonna have an incredible build out for them, and so look for that in our future video as well. So here in the great room, this is gonna open up to an incredible backyard. We've got incredible views again, but this pool is gonna be amazing, and I'll show you as we work our way to the backyard here shortly. But just again, a great space for everybody to gather and come together. As we work our way into the kitchen, we're gonna have a nice big island that's gonna sit right here, a nice dining table to fit the family and what they're looking for, with a lot of windows out here to the back that just is gonna allow a lot of natural light into the home and give it a nice feel. One of the things I really like about this space, other than the vaulted ceilings that we mentioned earlier, is the use of space that we have over here. One of the things that sometimes becomes difficult in St. George and in particular Southern Utah is that we don't do a lot of basements, and so storage space sometimes can be a challenge. Working with Sean Patton, our architect, he's always conscious of that and looks for ways to maximize use and space of the home. And this would be an example of one right here where, you know, all this is part of the kitchen, but as it opens up and you come in, you'll see that we incorporated a lot of storage space here under the stairs. And as you turn the corner here, you just have more storage for the client. And what I love about that is it's kind of hidden. It doesn't feel like it's overtaken the house, or it, you know, you almost wouldn't even know it was here. And even with this door, you would maybe think it was a pantry or something, but it opens up and it just gives the client a lot of storage for the needs that they were looking for. As we kind of continue on here, and bear with me, I know we've got a lot of trades on site today, which is awesome. We're gonna have a mud room here that's just off of the garage, so we'll have some built-in cabinets. And then this is gonna be the butler's pantry in here that just sits on the back side of the kitchen. So we'll have a sink and some cabinetry and everything that's just gonna allow the client to keep the kitchen nice and tidy and keep things out of the sight of different company that you may have over, but it's gonna be an amazing space. You can see behind me here, our tile guys are working on laying the tile, and we've seen that in some different spaces throughout the home already as those guys are all working to get that wrapped up. Continuing on, we're gonna have this bath and shower that's going to be just off of the pool. So that was one thing that was also important to the client, was having a space on this main level where kids and grandkids could use the pool, but then have an area to clean off without taking, you know, water all throughout the house. So we've got a shower in here, and conveniently it's going to open up out here to the backyard. This is gonna be an incredible backyard. And as we look at the pool here, just here to my left, we're gonna have a diving platform with a water feature and a slide that's going to sit just here off to the deep end of the pool. And as we work along the pool here, you'll notice the different plumbing that's sticking out. So that's going to be a bio design, almost like a splash pad. It's going to be a spongy material. So you'll have an entry into the pool off a bio design and then come into this pool. So it really just is an incredible water feature that we're going to have in this backyard for our client. I'm really excited to see the finished product on this one. So stay tuned for a future video and you'll see it. Another thing I love about lot number 8 here, again, is the view that we have to our backyard. The Red Cliffs Temple is an incredible view and they have it from every angle in this backyard. It's just beautiful. We continue on here. I talked about a craft room when I was going through the details of this home. This is one feature of the home that was really important to the homeowner. It was designed with them specifically to her wants and her needs and the functionality of this. You can see the tile is being laid right now. It also has access to the pool. This is just going to be an incredible space for her to use, and I'll be excited to show you this finished product here in the months to come. And if you want to see how excited our client is about this space, go check out our interview with them. Continuing on, as I mentioned outside, I love the pickleball court and how it's incorporated into the home. So coming into here, you can see nice, huge pickleball court, going to give them a lot of space for those grandkids and the kids and the family just to gather and play. We will have a basketball hoop as well. I'm just really excited about this space and overall what it's going to do for our client and meet their needs for what they were looking to do with this home. As well as, we've mentioned access to the backyard from the various spots in this home. Pickleball court is no different. Here we're going to have a slider that'll also give you nice access straight to the backyard and the pool. So if you get too warm playing pickleball in here, then you can run outside real quick and take a dip in the pool. And then one thing we did in here in terms of AC is we've got some mini splits. You can see where it's on the wall and ready to go. That's going to help keep this space nice and cool, but it's also not, it's going to be on a separate unit. So it's not going to impact the rest of the home. They can control that as they see fit to maximize efficiency throughout the home. I did mention the archways. As you'll notice throughout the home, again, we've got several of those. We incorporated those where we could. And of course, working with the client to make that their home and their feel. So that's level 1. And believe it or not, we got more. So let's keep going. We've got our trim guys on site and working through. I think our second level here will be pretty close to done this week, and we'll have some painters coming through. You'll notice the nice details here at this transition as we continue up the stairs. At the top of the stairs, opening to a nice great room. And again, as we look at this home and what's going on, just has incredible views out the backside of this home. Another great gathering space for the family to get together and enjoy. As you can see behind me, we've got interior doors on site. We've got guys working to install them. We're just working every day to get this home done and completed. We're really excited about the progress we've had thus far. So I mentioned this is a 6-bedroom home. Upstairs here is going to have 5 of those bedrooms, and each one will have its own ensuite. That was very important to our client. They look to have their kids come and visit, and the grandkids. It was important to make sure that each living space was there. So we have an ensuite in each of these rooms. So if you look behind me, and again, you can see tile work is in progress. And then we had the shower pan test, as I mentioned earlier as well. Those are all done. Every build out is just methodical. We have our closet back here. You can kind of see just some of the details that's going to go in. So this closet's being built out right now. You'll see that finished product in a coming video, but we're really excited to see this home continue on. We broke ground on this home right about the end of December, first part of January. So we are 7 months into this build and we've made incredible progress, and we're several months out from wrapping it up, but all those final details are really starting to come together with the trim work and all the details, the ceiling treatments that you'll see. We've got another bedroom on this side, and again, with the windows, a lot of natural light, nice vaulted ceilings here on the second floor, and again, another ensuite. Nice big bathroom here. We've got closets being worked on as well. And one thing we do, as you've probably noticed throughout the video, we've got every detail that's going into the home is laid out. That way our trades know what's going on, our subs know what's going on, and we always have the information at our fingertips to make sure we're building this house the way it's supposed to be. This was another Little bit of a late addition that we did as we were working with our client as well. Originally, this was not planned to have arches up here on the second floor, but as our super was walking through with the client and discussing, the idea of putting a couple arches up here was discussed, and so we just incorporated that into the build as well. Off to my right here, we're gonna have a powder bath, so that'll serve for that great room area. You won't have people going into individual bedrooms, so we have a powder bath off here to my right, another bedroom up here. You know, each of these rooms having some really nice vaulted ceilings, a nice closet. You can kind of see it's been framed out and they're making good progress there, as well as the bathroom in here. The tile's been laid. You know, this home is just really progressing nicely. We're excited about the progress we've had this far. Let's check out a couple more bedrooms on this side of the home, and let's not forget the laundry. So we talked about the laundry on the main, 5 bedrooms upstairs. You know that we need another laundry. So in here will serve as the laundry room for all the bedrooms up here, which is going to be nice and convenient so that you're not having to take laundry upstairs, downstairs, and all that. And it's a nice big space. So washer, dryer, you'll have some nice countertops and some cabinets built in. We also incorporated a gym into this home. That was important to the buyer, that we had a space for a gym. Now it might look small, but the equipment that we're going to put in here is going to fit this space perfectly. And one thing I really like is that they'll be able to get the workout that they want, but they didn't have to use a ton of space to get it. So it's maximized for efficiency and kept the living space big where you want to gather with the family. And again, I think out this window as well, minus the scaffolding, which will disappear in a future video, but you have great views of the mountain behind me. And a couple more bedrooms here on the back side of the house. So let's start on here. You can see we're getting ready. We've got the shower pan test has been done. We're really just making some incredible progress on this home. So as I mentioned, tile is in progress. We'll have some flooring, cabinets, all coming here in the next several weeks. We'll be on site and those trades will be working to install that. And then our final bedroom back here, again, nice vaulted ceiling. Great views to the back, ensuite bathroom and closet. That's going to give their children the space that they need to feel comfortable in a home. And I think that's one thing is you know, I know when you go to visit friends and family, sometimes it may feel cramped. And that's one thing that this house really incorporated, was making sure that everybody had more than enough space to meet what their needs are and not feel cramped. Everybody's going to be comfortable. They're probably not going to want to leave, which may be a problem. I don't know. So one thing I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk about here is that the developer, when this community was put together, this was the retaining wall that was put in. And as we were working with our client, the idea of privacy came up, and that with its current design, you maybe lose some privacy through the backyard. So what we did at Cedar Pointe is we started communicating with the developer and said, hey, do we have some options that can fulfill what you're looking for as a developer aesthetically, but also protect the privacy of our client? And through some back and forth with the developer, who was great to work with, I might mention, what we're going to end up doing is extending the block wall up. So we'll be removing the metal fencing there, and we'll extend that block, which is going to create some additional privacy for our client to the backyard at this side of the home. So, you know, any of those things, Cedar Pointe's always willing to go to bat for our clients, work with whether it's the HOA, a developer, and maybe even a neighbor. We're going to work with them to meet our clients' needs as much as we can. And again, we were able to do that. We're excited about it. And the caveat with it was that we had to work with the other builder as well that's on the other lot across the street, because the developer wanted both sides of the street to look the same. And so there were a lot of moving pieces to get that done, but we were excited to be able to do that for our client. Exterior will continue to be worked on and wrapped up. We were anticipating about a 12-month build on this home from when we broke ground. And I won't say it too loud so that my construction guys don't hear, but all things said, I think we're going to beat that 12-month mark, which will make us happy, and I know for sure it'll make our client happy. Now, as we look at the progress on this home, another home I'm really excited to start is a custom home that we've been working on for another client, which is going to be featured just across the street over here, also still in the Summit View community, but it's going to be right over there on that corner. You'll be able to watch future videos regarding that build, so I look forward to you following us and checking those out. Now, not only do we have a couple remaining lots here in Summit View that we would love to build for you, but Cedar Pointe builds in every luxury community here in St. George. So if you like what you see and you like our product, definitely reach out. We'd love to go through the process and build a custom home for you.